How to cut Shadow Foam Original. So with Shadow Foam Original, it's vital that you have a sharp blade, whether that be a craft knife or what we have here is a Shadow Foam scalpel with a new blade. You place the item where you want it to go, and then you put light pressure on top of it. You don't want the item to move while you're trace cutting around it, but you don't want to press down so hard so as to distort the foam below it. So once you've got the item where you want it to go, you trace cut around the item, and you don't have to cut down very deep here. You just want to cut down a couple of millimeters so as to make a clear outline in the foam. So you follow the tool all the way around, and when you meet back at the start, you can then take the item away. Now what you're looking for is a clear outline all the way around, and you can double check this by just pressing on the foam lightly, and you can part the cut that you've made all the way around. Now once you've made that initial cut, we then go back and make that cut deeper based on how deep you want the tool to sit in the foam. So with this adjustable spanner, we're looking at about 10 mil at its deepest part, and maybe 8 mil at the head there. So we want to cut down at least 8 mil. So we can cut down past that to ensure that we can remove the correct amount of material. So we're going to cut down about 10 to 12 millimeters into the foam, and we can gauge that by making a visual mark. We could even use a permanent marker and put a little mark on the side of the blade. We're just going to work up to that little piece of steel that holds the blade in, and we're going to cut all the way to that point. So following the outline cut you've already made, making sure the blade is 90 degrees perpendicular to the foam at all times, you follow that line you've already made and deepen that cut all the way around the outline, making sure you don't miss any sections, and you go all the way back round to the start. Now when you've done that, we're ready to remove this excess material to make the insert, to make the slot for the item to sit in. So to do that, with Shadow Foam Original, you press on the cut that you've made to expose the side of this shape that you've just cut around. Now what you do is you press on the foam, exposing the side of the cut, and then using the blade on an angle, you cut the depth. So here we want to cut down at least 8 mil, so we're going to cut down on the side 8 mil. We're going to put the blade in there, and we're going to make an angled cut at an 8 mil depth all the way along the side. I'm going to go nice and slow. We're going to cut all the way along. Then we're going to spin it around, and we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to cut down 8 mil again on an angle. And if you do this correctly, you'll find that some of the item now, the two cuts have met in the middle, and that should just peel away. But up here, it's not peeling away because the item is wider, so the two cuts haven't quite met in the middle here. So we have a couple of options. We can either go in from this angle here and put another cut in and just follow that cut along, or we can press on the side and just make that cut a little bit deeper. We can just take it a little bit further, making sure that they meet, and then it should just pull away like that. Now with Shadow Foam Original, that's the finish you can achieve. You're looking for a soft angle on the base of the insert, which does typically work quite well with items that have a radius profile, and that can sit in there quite nicely. Now for a deeper item, here we have a torch, which is about 25 mil. It's the same exact approach, making sure you have a sharp blade. We trace cut around the item. And when you're sure that your trace cut has met and we don't have any gaps, and you can ensure that, like I say, by pressing on the foam and just going all the way around, we then go around for a second time, making sure the cut is deep enough. Now here, we're going down at least 25-30 millimeters to make sure we can get enough material out so this torch sits flush in the foam. So now we have the same approach. We press on the side of the foam, exposing the side of the cut, but rather than the 8 mil we did for the adjustable, we're going to cut down at least 20 mil. And the reason why this is because with the 20 mil, the two cuts will meet on an angle, and we'll have a total depth of 25 mil, which will be perfect for this torch. Now the foam is quite soft, so it doesn't have to be perfectly measured. It can just be roughly 20 mil, 18 or 22 would be fine. The foam's soft, so it will account for those small differences. So we press on the foam, we make an angled cut, and we just follow it all along the side. And we do the same on the other side. Now the angle will be a little bit steeper here because the natural, being it deeper, you can't get quite as you have to get quite a much deeper angle on the knife essentially. So you may have to go back across your cut twice to make sure that they are meeting in the middle effectively. And then that should just pull away. Perfect. Same finish we've got there. So we've got an angled cut on the bottom, and that's perfect. So that is how you cut Shadow Foam Original. If you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch and we'll be happy to help.